Just how strong is Ryu Hayabusa? Let's talk about it. So in order to understand just how strong Ryu is, we're gonna have to break down the mythology given to us in verse. This is where I'm gonna take us to Ninja Gaiden Sigma, where we get the first dash of lore aspect to it all. 4-part book series called The History of Vigor. In it, it explains practically what are fiends, how they were created. They were practically just humans at one point who, after being corrupted by conceptual evil, they lose their souls and are just left as physical monsters. It's then told to us that the highest echelons of fiends are only described as to being able to transcend all physical boundaries of form. To us, to mortals, they would be seen as gods. The one who stood above them all was the Vigor Emperor, a being with absolute authority, regardless of time or place. That's the same final boss Ryu ends up fighting at the end of Sigma. On its own, it's kind of hard to gauge just how powerful Vigor Emperor is, but thankfully there's more games. You can use either Ninja Gaiden Black or Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, either one works. They both have a book known as the Vigor Mythology, and this one's extensive, so strap in. In the beginning, a great inconsistency flowed out into nothing, a nothing that was afraid of its own nothingness. A pure terror without color, without sound, without smell. It formed the root of all defecation, and eventually it coalesced into the shape of the first deity, Gerdu. Gerdu gave birth to all elements, providing them with order and function. In a remote area of space where Gerdu provided order, there existed a territory of chaos formed from elements without shape. This chaos, which has been forgotten during, Gerdu doing her whole thing, existed at first as only instinctual fear, but eventually the chaos began to take shape, and a consciousness was formed within it. It started off as a small essence, but over time it grew into the essence of pure hatred. The chaotic nature of hatred further evolved it into becoming a god, this god being known as Vigor. This Vigor decided to do battle with Gerdu. Vigor then started his war with Gerdu, destroying everything she created from the very center, wiping it all away from existence, even the concept of time itself. Eventually, Gerdu had to split themselves into 4 different aspects of herself: sentiment, wisdom, immortality, and creation. Eventually, they together were able to push back Verdu. This whole panel is noted that Verdu is the concept of destruction. It destroyed the previous universe, and it's going to destroy this current one as well, unless someone stops them, which was Ryu Hayabusa. It's noted to us that the great serpent, the god of creation, sprinkled a little bit of essence into chaos in order to sprout on later on. Serpent then creates 12 dragons. Those 12 dragons end up beating Vigor, but one of them gets corrupted, and Vigor manages to survive, showing that Vigor has immortality to the highest echelon. Again, Ryu on his own bested that. But how would just a mortal be able to best a god? It's all explained within the Dragon Blade. If you played the DS Dragon Sword, it's told to us that practically this sword is creation itself. That very serpent, that essence that's sprinkled, is forged into this sword. Just like the mythology, it's still a battle of creation versus destruction, nothingness versus everything. There's multiple different layers of power that Ryu can be put at. The dragons are noted to be able to destroy and consume entire planets. Same dark dragon Ryu ends up beating in the Dragon Sword, showing that he at minimum is planetary. And that Vigor literally burned down all of existence, easily sitting on those universal tiers. And if you're getting into philosophy and concepts and how they intertwine with everything, seeing that they transcend the physical boundaries of form, predating concepts like creation, time, space, etc., and probably get them higher, but I'm probably going to be comfortable around that universal tier.